Welcome, blessed souls. It is the new moon in Pisces. I am the magical medium. I am your spiritual guidance counselor for this event, for this session. Today we are being blessed significantly and beautifully by the dragons. One of our tribe members, Anna, donated the dragon path. Thank you, Anna. I want to give her a shout out. Thank you so much, Anna. Anna's had a lot of great experiences with this. She's actually sent me a few readings that she did for me with this deck. And I can just tell you right now, from the moment I saw them, I knew I wanted them. So we're going to put a little light on the subject. But I wanted to come in a little moody because these are very, very intense creatures. Seriously, thank you, Anna. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to the ones who have been with us forever, since the beginning. I do not get sick. I don't get sick, but my body is feeling super run down. Even like that car going by, like that energy, it's like, bye-bye. So I'm working in the energy that I am right now, which is a really deep feeling of depletion. And I realize that I've just been going and going and going and pursuing my dreams and going after the things that I want to do. However, sometimes we forget that these beautiful avatars need rest. And we go in these cycles of illusion instead of the cycles of how we feel. You know, we're told to do this, we're told to do that. We're, oh, it's the new moon, it's new beginnings, set your intentions, get it right now, do it right now. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just came off of the moon in Aquarius. It is an air energy. Now, right, I am shifting into the Pisces energy, as are you. When I say I'm talking about us as a collective, right? Each of us are going through this, no matter where you live on the planet, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, because both of you are here. Love you so much for being here. And for my southern hemisphere people, if you feel like it, please always comment below. And anybody, if you guys want to comment below today and just say your name and where you're from and say, hey, I love you guys, you're welcome here. Some people like to stay anonymous. That's okay. That's totally okay. You're not there yet. But in this particular energy and this reading today, the dragon spoke to me about life, death, and rebirth, and how new moons are new beginnings. There's a reason why we go to black, though, right? Because black is when we're in the darkness, we're in the shadow. And so, yes, I want you to set those intentions and do all those wonderful things, but we are also, it just happened. Right? We go through cycles. We have them for a reason. There's a reason why the female reproductive system, they call it the moon cycle. Because most women, not all women, but most women go on a 28 to 30 day cycle. It's like the moon, It's just like, have you ever noticed if you live by yourself, you have your period and it's like spot on, and then you move into a house with like 3 other women, it's like there's always going to be an alpha. And it doesn't mean that like they're better, stronger, whatever. It's like, it just could be like they were, whatever, their cycle, everybody synced up to that one at that time for that reason. Who fucking knows? But there's a reason for that. It's because we are we are one. We are divinely connected. We are connected to the stars. We are connected to the earth, to the galaxies. there's so much happening everywhere, and it's so powerful and it's so profound. And this deck just like blew me wide open. Thank you so much, Anna. And it's interesting because this has happened before, and this is where Anna and I are so in sync. I swear we've been through many lifetimes together, or we just have some really strong tie, because the way that things go through, I mean, I know this has happened more than once, but I've done so many hundreds of readings by now that I couldn't tell you when or how or what. But I do know that there have been times where, not just her, a lot of you have sent me decks where right before a major like this, like it's the new month, because it's March 2nd, wherever you are, whenever you see this, wherever you live, these are timeless, of course, but for me in real time, it is March 2nd, 2022. So it is the second day of March. So we're in a brand new month, a brand new moon cycle. So I was like, and a brand new deck, of course. Like, it was a no-brainer. And especially because I feel like this is also, this is Pisces. This is the last moon of the zodiac year, before we go into Aries. And, and there's a reason why they shift over. I mean, think about it. Why wouldn't it just be like the moon start exactly at, Aries, and it goes along that cycle, right? It doesn't. It's like it's there to show you like that you need that kind of like crossover, right? Because in the moon cycles we'll have two signs, and so it's like we were still having the moon in Aquarius, but we went into Pisces a week ago, and so it's all about transition, and this is a transitional period, so give yourself some time. That's why it's a new beginning. It's a new, it's a rebirth. So I'm not sure how much more we're going to talk. Oh, actually, we are. Okay, that's true. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So that was like the intro, and a shout out to Anna, and thank you. Anytime, if you guys send in contributions or if you donate decks, all of my information is in the description box below, but it's also, all the links are in my about section at the bottom. And you just go up to the tabs at the top if you're kind of new to YouTube. And by the way, I know there's a lot of you that are new to this. I can feel you. I knew you existed, but you're like the unicorn. I mean, I'm going to be all over the place because there's so much beautiful energy here. There's so many powerful, powerful leaders here. But there are a lot of you that are the rare unicorn that, like some of us, like myself, I've always kind of known I was different and I was woke and whatever, but I've gone through this system of, brainwashed and whatever in the 3D energy, and then woke up really, in the last 10 to 15 years, but definitely since the transition of the age of Aquarius and the fifth dimensional energy, I've just been like, where I'm like, holy shit. But some people, some magnificent creatures, they get woke like so fucking fast, and they just get it. And they just get it, and they can go through their shadow, and they can. So I think there's some of you here that have been kind of quiet. And I urge you to speak up in the comments. I urge you to reach out to me through email if you are feeling like the warrior path where you want to learn. Today, I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go. I do know for sure that we are going to talk about our sponsors today. I love when Spirit does these kind of like wild long readings. These are really more for the tribe, but so far we've been doing kind of like these almost like biblical, I don't believe in that, but in terms of iconic biblical, like these kind of announcements from Spirit, these readings, they're very important because they're downloading a lot of information through me. So they're having me do these kind of like once at the beginning of the month, just entering in this way, especially, with all of these new months and like new moons starting, because last month, February 1st was a new moon. Today, the 2nd is a new moon. And then next month on April 1st is also a new moon. So it's like a new month, new moon, and these months and these weeks are so magical. They're so transformative. That Spirit they're like, we know that you guys have been knocked through the mud. We know, blah, blah, blah. And just when you're starting to feel good, let's throw a fucking war in there. Let's throw a war in there. But listen, you've got to have faith. that they know exactly what they're doing. Everything is happening and playing out exactly as it's meant to. And you know what? Enough people have seen enough war crimes and war criminals, and there are so many people for good who have just as much fucking money and have just as much leverage and weight as the darkness. Believe that. Know that. Feel that. Seriously, Spirit wants you to know that. Like, I can go into so many, but I won't. Tyler Perry's one of my favorite ones. You know, it's like you cannot make certain things like Tyler Perry does and not like have, you know, some people are like, oh, he has a hidden agenda, because of, slave enslavement and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, but I just believe I believe they are a more intelligent being and creature, and I think they are above that. They may have gone through that through their shadow and through their artistry have created that in movies. And I think a lot of that's happening right now, but I think they're also seeing that there's slavery everywhere, and human trafficking, and that it's like this has just been going on for centuries and centuries and centuries, and they just throw different labels and different empathy and sympathy towards different races and cultures. White people have been slaves throughout history too, like really, really slaves, like, like the African Americans have. None of it is right. None of it, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if you, the quote unquote history. So who knows, right? I mean, they're finding things all of the time where they're like, wait a second, this is like 20,000 years old. Why is this? This is made out of lasers. The lasers weren't even invented back then, right? So they're seeing that Earth has been like this kind of training ground for a very, very, very long time, and it's about the human evolution and the human path. And so right now, the war, even though we're having a physical war, that's just like kind of like this third dimensional way for people to see what's happening, because people are like, hey, quit fucking picking on them, man. Like, there are children that were born in the Ukraine, in any country that gets seized like this. But like in this example, right, of what's happening on Earth right now, is that, there are children that were born, and 10, 20 years ago. They only know the Ukraine the way it is. They don't know what it was like before occupied Russia. They don't understand, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many, and there's a lot of history there too. So there's so much smoke and mirrors going on, and yeah, it's interesting. Spirit's having me dip in and dip out, and then like we'll meditate on it, and they're giving me some really great insight. So use your own eyes, ears, intuition. You don't have to listen to me if it doesn't feel good to you. People unsubscribe and subscribe all the time, and that's okay. I've always said that, like, you don't have to be here, right? Like, it's okay. But the army that I am building right now, the army that I am leading, that Spirit has put me in charge of, is like unlike any other leadership that Earth has ever seen. If you found your way to my channel, you are really, really fucking powerful light worker. Do not doubt that. Do not doubt that. It took me a long time and many powerful shamans and people that I looked up to and respected to finally, realize that all those years that my, so-called family and friends and teachers, and I can go on and on and on, just the way that they diminished my light on a regular basis and tone it down and stop being so sensitive and why you're so weird and all those things. But at the same time, they were my greatest teachers because they too were in this like brainwashed, patriarchal, fucked up, slave mentality that we've been in for so many years, because it's like when you're in a complete slavery and you have nothing, then you fall into just being happy to like have food to stay alive. It doesn't matter if there's maggots in that rice, right? You're gonna eat it because you gotta fucking eat. You gotta eat to survive, and you're grateful to eat those maggots, and you're like, thank you, right? I know this seems foul, right? But that's the truth. And so then they're like, well, we're gonna give you some bread, and before you're drinking mud water, right? And then it's like then they give you water. And then bit by bit, just bit by bit, they're like, okay, and then we're gonna let you free, but you have to work for it. We're gonna pay you, but you still have to, do you see? It's like it's this whole thing that's been going on for so long, and it's a huge bait and switch. I just had this major thing with this candle company that I have been using for a long time now. And they're a very revered company from Ohio. They've been in business since the 1800s, early 1800s. And long story short, um, I got these candles from them recently, and they were shit. I knew it wasn't that. I mean, the packaging was different. You know, if I was at the store, I would have noticed it more than my husband, but he picked them up for me. And long story short, it was so gross, this bait and switch that I was like, what are you doing? These are like the other candles. I like these candles before you are the good ones. Um, but I was like, you cannot like there. I put them together and like literally like Alder and I were like looking at them together, and I go, tell me that's it. He's like, wow, that's crazy. I go, the only thing that's the same is the label. And then I turned it over and it said made in India. I'm like, so you tote on the front of your package that, you know, like you're like this family run business since the 1840s, you're, you know, handmade, hand poured, all this kind of bullshit, right? And then it's like, so I was like, that's really interesting. So then the good one said made in Poland. And I said, you know what? I don't remember if I remember them saying that. And then I started going down this road because I'm like, with everything that's happening right now. And then I thought, wait a second, though. He bought these candles for me a week before the war, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, wait a second. So I was like, how long have people known like what was going to happen and what happened with these candles? And all of a sudden it's like, but that's where my mind goes. Cause I'm like, this is how it's been. And now it's like, bam, my mind is like, what is going on? What's happening? What's happening with this bait and switch? You know, did you hear about, I don't know if it's true or not, you know, use your own intuition, but yesterday my husband goes, so they found a cell phone, an iPhone or whatever. He's like in something from like 2000 years ago. He's like, what do you think about that? And I said, well, I think it's whatever we want to think about it. It's time travel. I'm like, what? I'm like, I mean, I think we're seeing that it's like time doesn't exist. And dimensions, like we are going in and out of, you know, whatever. And yeah, so again, I'm going to let your mind go to where you need to be. So I just realized though that these wormholes and these existence and like the dragons have been here forever. When I started reading the book for this deck, I just loved this person's story. And basically, the dragons, the way that they came to them was really cool. And I'm going to read the back of this too, because um, I'm not going to really get into the book, but I just want to read you this part. It says, prepare to meet the 4 dragon clans, Earthwalk, Galactic, Grandmaster, and Guardian dragons, each with their own special intuition to share. Working with the dragons, you will notice when the universe is answering our call and then act upon it. As your spiritual growth deepens, you become more self-aware and release old belief patterns, behaviors, and ways of being. There is no set way to use these cards. Connect with the dragons in the way that feels right to you. Whether that is, you know, and then she talks about like different ways you can do divination. But, you know, earlier Spirit wanted me to bring up, remember earlier when I said we were, you know, brought to you by. So today, this reading from the dragons, the dragons want to thank Cassia, which is related to cinnamon, and the parrot spirit medicine. So those are to research on your own. I do have, let me ask if they want me to, do we want to read from these books in this reading, Spirit? Okay, so I think I may be doing a private, yeah, I'm going to do okay, I get what they're doing. Okay, cool. So those you can research on your own. I'm going to do a further in-depth reading with that. I'm going to do a further in-depth reading with these cards and the book and talk more about how this book came to be. And I'm also going to be teaching from 2 different books, the Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs and The Secret Craft of the Wise Magical Herbalism, also from Scott Cunningham. So we're going to be talking about Cassia and, you know, how it, you know, is connected to our intuition and our psychic gifts. It's just really powerful. And the parrot, we're going to go more into the parrot. And so Cassia and the parrot are the energies that want to work with us for the month of March. Now listen, Spirit wants me to also say, and the dragons really, really want to come through clear on this, that Cassia, cinnamon, this relation of this, right? When we think of cinnamon, we think of fire and hot, right? Which doesn't surprise me that these beautiful dragons, I know, look at Asclepius. Look at him with this. I think that's how you, Asclepius. That's how it came out. So I'm going to say that. But look at that with their fire in their belly, you know. There's a lot of fire around that dragon. But then these other dragons, you know, when you look at them, there's not, you know, really fire. I'm feeling a lot of different things. Air. This is a very earth energy. This feels like air. So I guess this could be water, the divine feminine. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about it. So this is kind of like a representation of fire, water, earth, and air. Oh, I did not. Oh my gosh, my palms are on fire. I feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like they're like pressing into my palms right now. Oh my gosh, like this power of the dragons. They're like, by Jove, I think she's got it. You know, I always love when I finally get it. Well, this new moon in Pisces, I mean, this energy is intense. Pisces is a beautiful, beautiful, intense, beautiful, intuitively intense energy. Water sign, deep energy. So maybe you're pulled to all of them. Maybe you need messages from all of them. They're giving us messages about life, death, and rebirth. So however you want to do that. If you would like to be a part of my little secret tribe, I send them personally to certain people that Spirit asked me to send them to. But if you would like to be part of our little secret tribe, you can email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com. And that is in my About section. There's a link that takes you straight to it. Just remember, magic is spelled with a CK, just how it is on my page. But also, look in the description box below. It's all that kind of stuff is there. Okay, so I'm going to do a more in-depth reading on this. I'm actually really excited because I already, I already pulled books. Look at, I've got like tabs and stuff. I'm like, I already pulled the books. We're going to do some learning. So if you're feeling like your witch is starting to come alive, right? Because that's what I'm feeling like. We're coming to the end of this, you know, also it doesn't matter if you're the northern or southern hemisphere. It's the end of a cycle, right? So whether it's the end of the winter or the end of summer, we're coming to the end of those cycles and we're going into spring and fall. These kind of readings that I can tell Spirit's going to have me do after this pick-a-pow reading, these little private sessions, they're by donation. They're by donation at $5 or more. You know, honestly, $5 or more, whatever you can afford. I deeply appreciate the gratitude. Those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know how this goes. Some people send me gifts in other ways, just like today, how Anna sent me this deck, right? However you want to do that. That's why I give different forms to donate to these beautiful sessions, these spiritual guidance readings that all of these energies and these entities from the universe call me to do for you. Well, you know, they told me to not worry about the lighting, and the natural lighting would come in, and it's been such a gloomy day. And now I see why. Look at how pretty they are. So, yeah. So, and also they just want me to talk about really quickly. We're going to talk about this too. You know, March is really, really busy. Like, I don't want to set anything on fire, but March is really busy. I've got my calendar on both sides, right? It's like there's a lot going on. So we're going to talk more about that we're going to talk about the new moon, and that we've got daylight savings time for those of you who do that is on the 13th. Then we got the full moon on the 18th, St. Patrick's Day. I mean, there's so much happening in the month of March. It's International Women's, you know, Day on the 8th, but it's for the month. Also, the biggest thing that Spirit wants me to talk about before I jump to the reading is that the Jupiter and Sun are in conjunction in Pisces, which is a very rare transit, and it brings major blessings. So they started at the 2022 portal. When that portal opened until March 16th. So whenever you watch this, you know, they're timeless, of course, but obviously in this energy, really put forth your blessings. That's why you're hearing a lot of other readers and spiritual guidance counselors talking about, you know, really utilizing this new moon in Pisces energy and how special it is. There's a lot of things going on astrologically. I don't claim to be an astrologer. I do my own due diligence and my own research. So, but I can feel it. I don't know if you guys can feel it. It's heavy. It's interesting to me, this very heavy new moon in Pisces. Like, it feels heavy. I'm tired. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not sick. Like right now I feel really good because like I can feel the energies. But when I started, I was like, wow, I didn't realize like how heavy I was feeling and the energy of the planet. And it's like, even if I'm not looking at any social media or news or anything, I still feel it. My dreams are all over the place, my subconscious. So, just the fluidity of that going on. Last night, I was like, what is going on? Where it's like, I know when I'm astral traveling, and I know when I'm like diving deep into my subconscious, which is another form of astral traveling, actually, because you're like going in and like healing something. So, we may be going through major transformations so much independently and on the planet that we wake up each day and you feel different, but like the world is different. And you're like, what? I thought this happened. What? I thought that, you know what I mean? There are no right or wrong answers. The planet itself is in one of the most transformational phases it's ever been. So ride the wave right now through this Jupiter and Sun conjunction in Pisces. Ride it anyway. And if that means rest, then you rest. But, take the energy as you can. If you're really depleted, you're not feeling good, do not go to work. If you come home from work and you're like, I'm so tired, I just can't make dinner tonight, can everybody be on their own? However it is, but self-care is like on the menu right now. If that means, coloring, going for a walk, being in nature, I love these dragons, and I am in such deep gratitude for them right now, with giving us this connection to, like, even as I opened this up right away, I felt Sandalphon and Gaia and Uriel. It's like these very grounding earth energies. The pentacles, it's about material things. Dragons are all about possessing things. Look, I made them like a little shrine up there, right, with some sparkly fun stuff and crystals. And illuminating, that we are in gratitude for their path. They even made me clean my jewelry. I'm not kidding. Like, it's like they wanted my jewelry to be extra sparkly today. So this is a very special reading. I don't believe we're going to do more than one card per pile, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. And then we're also, so after this Jupiter and Sun, and that's a lot. I mean, seriously, March is just, it's so jam-packed. And for the people who celebrate like Passover and, today's Ash Wednesday, it's like and of course we've got spring, the vernal equinox, right, on the 20th. And then the 21st, we go into the Aries season. I mean, it's just, there's a lot going on. So, this is a very huge transitional month. I think that's why there's a lot of, kids out of school and people going on vacations and, because it's a time for self-care, right? We need that. And it doesn't matter if you're coming from summer or winter, the energy, it's like, it's a very big transitional energy. So, so I'm actually really excited because I've already done the studying for that reading we're going to do for, and that's like it's like a study group, basically. It's a study group, and it's really cool too, because like we, discuss in the comments below, and it's been interesting how some of us have connected, where two of our blessed soul family members didn't know each other, and one of my family, Zoe, was traveling through, she was living out of her car for last year, and long story short, Jules lives in Ohio, and Zoe was like, hey, is there somewhere I can stay? I told her I'd kind of given them both warning, whatever. And they ended up like becoming friends. They got to know each other. You know what I mean? Two people from the tribe. And that's happened a lot with our tribe members. So, if you're feeling lonely or whatever, it's like, you never know, there could be somebody in that group or somebody in that tribe who, is maybe on the same path that you are. Right now, I think there's about 9 of us all together. So, yeah, it's just really fun. It's really fun, and I love it. I haven't sent one out in, I think it's been since last month, since I sent it out. And also I send little, like today, I created a special little video for my little special group, but it is by donation, because I love doing these things for free for you guys, but I still have to, keep my lights on and all that good stuff, right? So anything that you can donate to the tribe really does help. But it doesn't have to be. Ooh, did you see that? When did that go out? That's interesting. Okay, hold on. Oh no, I broke it. That's okay. We're going to get a new one. Hold the phone. Okay. And Spirit said, because I'm worth it and you're worth it. And the truth is, in the beginning, when I was doing a lot of my spirit my walkabouts, so to speak, I had no money. So I would still give something, to those who helped me along my path, because every time I gave them something, it came back to me like tenfold. And same with Anna. Like when I got this deck, I lit a candle for her and a beautiful abundance prayer. And it's nice. It's like it's a nice reciprocation that we both honor the work that I do here. So, with that being said, we're going to start from left to right. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. And I have a feeling they're just going to have me do emojis for earth, air, fire, and water. So, and like I said, if you're drawn to more than one, feel free to go to it. Until then, also, there's a song that it's called Life and Death by Paul Cardall. And down in the description box, I like to call my little Easter eggs, like my birthday sister, Taylor Swift. And down below, I put a link. I already started putting this together. So I put a link for the music that I listened to when I was shuffling these cards, just to give you a nice little spark. Every time I hear that song, I think the title of the album is called Tiny Little Hearts or something like that. It's so cute. But I love Paul Cardall. I can listen to his piano, and he's just a beautiful composer. So I highly recommend you put him on your little rotation list. So I'll put that below. And of course, always look below there for your personal readings. If Spirit calls me to, I put in little recommendations. Okay, so I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful month. Blessed new moon in Pisces. Thank you to the dragons and all the spirit, all of our people that have been here today. All of my information is in the description box below. I'll see you at your pile. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, pile number 1. Oh, your angel number is 3131. Welcome, Asclepius. That is the way it's coming through. So I don't know how it's pronounced, but that is the way I'm hearing it. So that is the way I'm going to say it. It is also the number 27, which if you add together is also the number 9. So however that feels to you, whichever, works for you. This is so powerful, you guys. So I'm just going to say right now, this is the very first card that I pulled yesterday. And I even said to Spirit, I'm like, is this, do you want me to share that with them? And they're like, absolutely. So I'm really, really like, I asked them if I could say this, and they said yes. So if you guys have been wondering like who you are, some of you already know, but if you've really been questioning like who you are, what your magic is, all that kind of stuff, yeah, you are this magical. You are this sparkly. You are this magnificent. Do not, for any circumstances, hold back who you are. If you want to color your hair, if you want to start dressing, like a different gender, so to speak, right? So I'm going to say that in terms of, I don't think there is a gender dressing. I'm just saying in terms of, if you're somebody and you feel one way and you want to go the complete opposite, Spirit is saying absolutely. So it is time for you, get out of the fear zone. The interesting thing is, I'm going to go a little bit closer, because look at this magical creature. I know I don't have the best lighting, but it's not about that. I mean, I'm really starting to get that from them. Like, they want me to see that it's not about that, Hold on, I'm going to turn my heater off. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. That song. But no, for real, I'm just getting this really powerful vibe from you guys. I mean, look at the way that the dragon is holding the staff. Do you see that? Do you see how powerful they are? And the strength. It reminds me of, you may want to work with the, ooh, look at that. Just the way I shifted and gave it some cool, like, look at that. And look at how the way the light just like came in, like right there, right? Like, so it's just like, he's looking right at the light and he's like, that's, look to the light. For some of you, it's time to get out of the shadow. You know who you are. You're not all of you, but some of you are playing the victim card, and they're like, it's just done. Like you need a little bit of tough love before I read from the book, because I'm going to read from the book, but you need a little bit of tough love right now. Also, for those of you that resonated with, 3433, when I look down, that's your angel number. If you've never been here before, I always tell people, take notes, pause it, write it down. You can go look it up at that time. Sometimes, a lot of times it'll align very perfectly, and other times it's just your message, like what you need to hear in your personal situation. So, yeah, but I mean, this is a fierce warrior. This isn't someone to be trifled with, right? Like, no one's going to trifle with this one. In fact, oh, look at this. What's going on with these candles? They're like, I've been having these interesting candle issues today. Actually, for the last week, I've been having these interesting candle issues, which, I believe everything happens for a reason. So I'm just going to give a little bit of illumination from the selenite over here. That's you. That is you. Can you dig it? Can you handle it? I don't care what you see in the mirror. This is who you are in the mirror. This is who you need to start seeing in the mirror. And some of you already do, and that's awesome. But for those of you who are neglecting to see your magnificence, Spirit is saying, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. Look at those wings. Look at the light pouring down into your crown chakra. So Asclepius says, it is your journey and yours alone. Asclepius was the ancient Greek god of medicine, the son of Apollo. Upon meeting him for the first time, his opening words were, your modern image of the caduceus is incorrect. He was a healer of great repute in Greek mythology, and this dragon in particular reminds us that inside us too reside great healers. His particular affinity lies with practitioners who use healing plants, herbalism, homeopathy, and essential oil and flower essences. Add to this his rather shamanic energy and his affinity with snakes, and he is a powerful ally. So also look up snake spirit medicine. Snakes are all about shedding your skin, change, transformation. And I think if you don't know, look up the caduceus. And it's spelled Caduceus. It's the symbol of I don't know where I don't know, is it Red Cross or something, where it's like I think the caduceus, if I'm correct, is the two snakes coming around the oh my gosh, my husband would be like, are you kidding me? Because he studies all this stuff, and he'd be like, we've been together almost 7 years and you don't know this by now. I'm serious. I know he would. It's kind of funny. But anyway, that's what he's saying. So obviously maybe that's why I don't know the caduceus, because maybe Asclepius is telling me that that's because it's not right. Right? He's like, that's not the way it really looks. And that's why he's got an affinity with snakes. So look into that. That's really powerful. So Asclepius is the dragon of the healer and the shaman. His wisdom is boundless. If he has flown into your reading today, know that you have his abundant knowledge at your side. Continuing with his practical help for your physical life, he asks you if you need the support of a professional with knowledge of healing plants, or if it's time for you to undertake training in one of the areas mentioned above, or indeed shamanism. Alongside his ability to support those working with plant energies, he is a powerful ally when we are ready for the next phase of our transformational journey of life, right? With the snakes, there we go. His presence in your cards today reminds you that together you create the immense combination of transmutation and transformation. Deep within, you know you can and will succeed. He had this to say: you are on the cusp of transformation, so allow me to guide you forward along the winding road. Remember, hold on to what you know to be true, for it is your journey and yours alone. Life never stands still. It is forever changing and evolving. Together, we can transmute that which binds you, accepting that your journey on earth is about life, death, and rebirth, as you transform and grow personally and spiritually. That's a beautiful, I mean, honestly, I'm so in love. You guys, so, and also I love you. You're my family, right? Like if you chose pile number one, like you're really like my soul people because you get it. Like you're really fucking powerful. You know what it's like to kind of walk the road alone. You know what it's like to be bullied, disrespected, treated like shit for just being yourself, for just being amazing and awesome. You have multiple level gifts. You see things on levels that other people don't. That's okay. Like, that's exactly what Asclepius is here to tell you. Like, the way you see it is the way you see it. You know, one of the last readings, I spoke about how I felt about, you know, religion and stuff. And I had somebody, and I said right on there, I'm like, you know, that's cool. If this doesn't, you know, align with you, I'm like, please unsubscribe, you know, because that's okay, you know. But for those of you who do, it's because you know I'm onto something, and you know that you've probably been feeling the same way, right? About this fuckery that we've been like dealing with that's like such bullshit, right? It's like we're old medicine. We don't fuck around. We don't have time. You know, we came here to be leaders, we're everything is about the roots, man. We got to get to the roots of it. We get to the bottom of it because we know with every fiber of our being, we know that we did not come here to be quiet. And we know that whatever we are, wherever we come from, is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, right? Like it's beyond, it's its own word, it's its own place. I mean, I've watched readings with other readers that literally, like, they don't know each other. I mean, maybe they do, I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like completely different. Like I follow a lot of very, very different types of readers for different things. And by the way, when I look down, it's 4121, if that applies to you. You know, but I've so many readings that I chose that pile, right? And then I always double check with my pendulum to make sure my ego is not choosing the pile, to fall in love with itself, to, you know, get out of working through some shadow work or whatever. And and they all are like, I don't know where you guys come from, like I don't even know. And so when I was working with the dragons yesterday, they told me that I have been to all the dimensions, like all the 12 dimensions that exist in this, whatever this is. Like I've existed in all of them, or I go to them, or I don't understand fully. I'm still working it out. So that may be the case for you too. You know, so work closely with the dragons. Maybe you've always had a pull to dragons. I have a dragon tattoo on my arm. It's the first tattoo I actually put on my arm, and it was on my 30th birthday. So you know, I've just had an affinity for dragons forever. And I don't know if I've been one. I feel like I've been one, but then like yesterday when I was talking to them, if I have, I don't know if I've been through this, like these four dragons that she speaks of, like these realms, the Earth Walk, the Galactic, the Grand Master, and the Guardian Dragons. Like she, in the book, she further explains about like the dimensions and like how the dragons go through different dimension. It's really, really cool. I'm going to talk about that. If you didn't watch the prequel to this, I haven't done one of these in a while, but it's like by a donation only. It's a minimum of $5. If you would like to go into our more in-depth reading for the tribe, there's about 9 of us right now. It's really cool, and it's a private link, so you just email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com. It's in the description box below, and also there's a link for it in my about section, so it'll take you right to it, so it has the right spelling and all that. Anyway, we're going to go more in depth with this deck. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to work with 2 books by Scott Cunningham, Magickal Herbalism and the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. We're going to go into a more in-depth reading of March, of what's going to be going on with March. There's so much happening this month. It's unbelievable. So if you're interested in that, email me, and it's a minimum, it's like one of these things. It's like a minimum $5 donation through Venmo or my PayPal, or if you donate a deck, you know what I mean? Like, and some decks are only like $12, or, you know, but it's a minimum. If you're doing cash, it's a minimum $5 to get that. And you know, if you're called to, when I looked down, it was 4404, by the way. So 444 is also, I mean, you guys are super powerful. That also just reminded me that April's coming up, right? And we're going to have 2022, which is going to be another really powerful day. So if You guys have a lot of, hold on. I'm channeling a lot of witchy energy from you guys too. That's why we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about herbalism in that class. It's basically, it's like it's a reading and a class, because we're going to work with this deck. We're going to learn more about this deck, but then we're also going to work with Cassia, the parrot spirit animal, and with these herbalism books through Cassia. We're going to learn more about Cassia and how it enhances our psychic gifts and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, let me see. Are we going to pull any more cards for you guys? Because I feel like there's a lot coming through. But I don't know if it's for more cards for you guys. I feel like if it is, it's only like, oh, look at this. Oh my goodness, you guys. Look at this. Serene. Let me pull this one since I just lit it. I'm going to pull this one right here so you can see. Oh my goodness. Look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so pretty. Hold on. I'm going to go a little bit brighter. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And it's also number 22, which is the number 4. So obviously 4s means something to you guys, or April 4th, or you're going to be 44 or something like that. There's something with that. I feel that really strongly from spirit. Let's get in here and we'll go there. That's nice. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh my goodness. You guys, and I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's obviously my pile, because I don't always feel like I'm drawn to a pile, but in this situation I do, because I pulled this card too. You know what I mean? Like, I pulled this as well. So it's just as much my dragon path as it is yours. This is really, really powerful reading. So I'm going to go to the book. The most fun, when I looked down, is 4620. But I also saw 420. So for maybe, I'm like, smoke them if you got them. Cannabis is my best friend. Okay. And also I feel like this beautiful apophyllite wanted to come in. Oh, look at that. It's like the apophyllite. I didn't do anything, you guys. I didn't touch anything. I didn't touch the screen. Do you see how the apophyllite just like lit everything up? Okay. So the Serene card says, I am the lapping of waves and the morning sun. This is so fun for me too, because I haven't looked at all the cards. When I get a new deck, I want it to be just as new to me as it is to you, because it's fun, right? It's fun for all of us. So this says, gently flowing water and a warm summer breeze depict this dragon's energy beautifully. Serene connects to the calm and resilient energy of Mother Mary, so you can rest assured that life is going to settle down, especially if it has been rather turbulent of late. Also, I want to bring this up that, as most of you know, I don't like believe in the Bible like that, but what I do believe in is prophets and people and fables, right? Like, everybody's got a story and everybody sees something. 10,000 people can see the same thing at the same time and give you a completely 4737 angel number, and give you a completely different, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely positively different. They're like, this is what I saw. And they're like, that's what that person saw. So remember that when I say that I don't believe that religion's real and that it's man-made, what I'm saying by that is it was written by man. So I'm not saying that things in those textbooks, that's exactly what comes out, because that's what it is to me. It's like, that's what it is. It's like a textbook. It's like, believe some of it, right? Believe everything with a grain of salt. Also, look at this. And also they're saying it's the energy of Mary, right? Like the imagery and the love of Mary. But I didn't put this together until just now. Look at how, you guys, I feel like you're finally going to get into balance over the next 3 weeks. I'm feeling number 3s for you all of a sudden. So maybe just the month of March. Ooh, my whole body was a chill. And, tomorrow's March 3rd. So I don't know when you're going to watch this, but it could be the 13th. It could be the 23rd. But it could be anything with 3s. But I just think it's really powerful, because I feel like you guys are finally starting to come into your balance of your light and your dark and your shadow. And I'm feeling the same way. So yay us. We've been working really fucking hard. And, it's like, what needs to get cleaned up. Spirit's saying, like, what needs to be worked on. What, right? And it's like, well, if you're still in the dark, lighten it up. Get out of the blame, the shame. Yesterday there was an instance where my partner and I were talking about something, and they just going into this shame. And I said, don't go into the shame bubble, man. I'm like, that's a programming. It really is. It's a programming for us to feel shame around something. I'm like, no, it's like, it happened. It's okay, right? Like, it may not have been okay that this happened or that happened, but it's like, it's over. We're past it. We're talking about something from the past so that we can move forward. It's not necessary to keep going to the past and drudging it up. Do you hear what they're saying? So the rest of this card says, Serene says, I am the lapping of the waves and the morning sun. Allow me to wrap you in my blue cloak of tranquility and accept my presence as pure calm settles around you. When your inner perceptions shift, so will your outer world experiences. Remember that the tranquility you seek lies within. The volatile outside scenario is only a mirror of turbulence inside. Oh, that's such a metaphor for what's going on the planet right now. Call upon me to guide you to that piece of heaven you crave. Observe your life experiences, changing as they begin to mirror your inner feelings of serenity. Serene encourages us to go gently with ourselves. We are quick to nurture others, but often neglect our own needs. We must feed ourselves with that which brings us joy and makes us feel alive. As we accept that we are important, our worldly experiences will reshape and shift in a positive way. So I just got a little nudge from Spirit. And so you remember we talked about life, death, and rebirth. I'm seeing if we're going to pull a third card, because I'm like, are we just going to do two? Or I was like, are we going to pull a third card? So let's just see. Oh, we are. Oh, yay. Oh, and do it all with grace. Oh, and that's how you guys are. I feel like this too. I pulled this card too yesterday. And it's also the number 16, which is the number 7. We had 27 at the beginning, 2 before 7, and then 7 and 2 is 9. Then we've got 22, which is 4. So I'm going to, hold on. Okay, before we move forward with grace, they wanted me to tell you where they're from. They're so cute. I love them so much. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So Asclepius is from the Guardian Dragons. And Serene is from the Grand Master Dragons. And Grace is from the Earthwalk Dragons. She's actually the last dragon in the Earthwalk Dragons. So we're going to talk more about these dragons and, you know, where they come from and that kind of stuff in that reading that I told you about in our little tribe reading. So email me if you want to join. Okay, so we're gonna go to Grace though, because I was like, there's just, I mean, I love that. You don't even know how much I love when they talk to me like that, because I'm just doing I'm just the medium, not just but you know what I mean. I'm the medium. That's my job. So if I'm not getting it right, I'm not gonna be arrogant enough to say, oh, I know better. It's like, no, I can feel that they're telling me no. So Grace says, you are more than you can possibly imagine. Oh, thank you, Spirit. This dragon flies into our lives when we have been or are struggling with self-worth, self-respect, and self-love issues, or when we have been neglecting ourselves. It's time to look at ourselves and discover who we truly are. We are magnificent human beings who need to find ways to let go of our self-imposed limitations and self-limiting beliefs. Grace's words are simple. Stop it now. You are more than you can possibly imagine, beautiful ones. You can achieve so much more than you foresee. Believe in yourself. Push the boundaries of your self-imposed limits. If you don't try, you will never know how successful you can be. And if you perceive that you have failed, remember there is no such thing as failure, only an experience to learn from. Try again. Dragons have an issue with the word love because we continually misuse it, so they have opted instead for grace, which they tell me is more encompassing and authentic. Grace is a deep Grace is a deep acceptance of all that is within and without us. It means the end of struggle through embracing the whole of us as we truly are. That's beautiful. That's deep. That's heavy. I don't think I read this yesterday. I looked at the card, but oh man. Well, my beautiful souls. So this is your life, death, and rebirth messages from Spirit. I love you so much. I think that's it. And what? Did you say one more? Oh! Oh my gosh. I thought we were just going to do 3, but they said, we're not going to read this card. They just want you to know that this is your destiny. And if you've been wondering if you are this powerful, if you are meant to help and lead and grow a beautiful tribe of people, you absolutely are. You absolutely are. And we are your family here. We are your Ohana. Do not be afraid, beautiful ones, dear ones. Do not be afraid, especially of your own magic and your own power. Those who do not believe in the magic will never find it. Remember that. So, this is your destiny. Use it with grace. I love you so much. All of my information's in the box below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho. Bye. Welcome, pile 2. Divine Feminine, number 32, which is also the number 5. So we spoke about change and transformation in pile number 1. So if you're drawn to pile number 1 as well, you may want to go there. If not, no worries. But yeah, this is really powerful. You guys, all I can tell you is that it is seriously my divine and great honor to channel these benevolent, beautiful, I don't know, I call them creatures, but they're just these magnificent beings. And this particular one, this divine feminine, it's like I could hear her voice, and I could hear that it's from like the voice that I'm hearing in my head is from a movie. And I wish I could remember it, because it's like I would tell you, maybe it'll come up, but it's like I can hear this voice in my head where she's like, warriors, come together. Let us fight, like for freedom, for justice. Like I just feel this very strong, like female empowered feminine energy. And it doesn't matter if you're divine, masculine identified. It doesn't matter. But this is the energy that is calling to you. The divine feminine is telling you it's time to wake up, really wake up. Like looking at all parts of yourself. I noticed recently that when I go into shadow, it's like I go really deep into my masculine, but somehow the divine feminine, I don't give her as much leeway, I guess I would say, right? It's like, I'm almost like, oh, well, that's okay because it's masculine energy, right? It's kind of volatile like Mars. But it's not, right? It's like, right now it's like this divine feminine. By the way, taking a few deep breaths. It's about calming our senses, slowing down, connecting with the divine. And in this case, the divine feminine. I'm going to read from the book right out the gate. It says, it's time to stop playing small and claim your place within the circle of light. Divine Feminine is the smallest dragon I have yet encountered. She appeared near the time of the summer solstice, and her counterpart is Hirne, which I thought was Hern, but Hirne came right out, which was, I believe, pile number 3. So if you're drawn to pile number 3, interesting. And I shuffled them, so that's just the way they went. She appeared near the time of the summer solstice, and her counterpart is Hirne, who symbolizes the divine masculine. Interesting. She is here to connect you to your divine female energy. She told me this: you possess everything you need for your existence on Earth. All you need to do is accept and understand it. When we begin to realize that we no longer have to look outside ourselves for answers and approval, or feel the need for possessions, we can begin honoring ourselves as spiritual human beings. We are exactly who we need to be and where we need to be at any moment. Divine Feminine brings a sense of acceptance when we find ourselves at crossroads, and assures us we have infinite resources to see us through. Often she appears around the solstices or equinoxes, or at times when we are coming to a completion of a cycle. Right? Like we just ended this, whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but in real time, like we just was like, bye Aquarius, thank you so much, right? We just came into the Pisces new moon. So it's a huge transitional, and we are coming into March or we are in March, right? When I'm doing this right now, it's March 2nd, 2022. And this whole month is transformation, right? Because we've got from winter to spring, or summer to fall, depending on which hemisphere you're in. And then we also, for some of us who have the time change, we're losing an hour. It's like March is a kick in the pants. That's why it's good to have, if it were up to me and I was controlling the school system, I would absolutely, positively give the kids spring break over the time change if it still existed. Because it's a really rough time. When we lose 5 minutes, we lose our shit, right? I'm 5 minutes late, but it's like, right, when we're late, it like throws our whole day off. So we lose a whole hour. It's like we go to sleep and we wake up, it's like, oh, she's gone. She's gone. Bye. Because somebody dictated it instead of going with the natural like flow of the energy of the planet of light and dark. It's such a fucking the fuckery. I've been talking about this. Like I've just had it with the fuckery. And don't feed into it. So if you need to, you take care of yourself whenever you need to take care of yourself. I feel like the divine feminine is saying, like, really get in touch with that, with your mothering. Mother yourself. Feel how you feel. Close your eyes and sit with it. When you have time, when you can sit in silence with nothing around you and be like, what hurts? What feels good? What's not working? And spirit will give you the answers. And then mother yourself. Maybe you need a nice homemade soup. And if you don't make soup, call a buddy. Maybe you're a great baker. You love to bake stuff and they love to make soups. They're the savory, you're the sweet. That's what makes your friendship so complete, right? Say, hey buddy, can you make me a soup? I'll bake you a beautiful fucking cake, man. But like, I'm feeling depleted. I need one of your good pick-me-up soups. It's gonna make me feel good. I want to do a cleanse for like 3 days. I just want to like have some soup and some water, fresh fruits and vegetables, no processed foods. I just took the month of February off with no sugar and no dairy. And I felt really, really good at first, but then I realized what I was doing is I was actually trading those for more savory things. And so I'm like, wow, I feel like I actually gained weight. But the interesting thing is I didn't. I'm getting smaller. I'm losing weight, but like I'm feeling more bloated because I'm having more salt when I would rather have sugar. Do you know what I mean? But I have to listen to my body. So listen to your body right now. Like I'm getting that download really, really huge, pile two. Listen to your body. Mother yourself. Take care of yourself. And if you do feel very, masculine identified, think about how mom would take care of you, but do it for yourself. It's about you channeling that divine feminine energy from that parent, from that family member, from that person in your life. I mean, I've had some of my gay identified friends that were more mothering to me than any woman's ever been. You know what I mean? So it's really just about channeling that divine mothering energy. We spoke about that a little bit in pile number 1. We spoke with Mary, which is interesting because we spoke about that because a lot of I've been pushing really hard against these religious, things because they're missing the point. It's like they put religion and control in instead of the love and the good stories and the good things that happened. And, there were real people that did those things, but, things have been manipulated. And so it's like, it's time to tap into that feminine side. And Mary she's just an energy, right? She had Jesus. Jesus was this beautiful, loving being, the soul being that came here to, be like, stop fucking doing that. Like, stop charging people to pray. And, like he was a rebel. We're rebels, right? If you found your way to my channel, you're a spiritual warrior. You're a rebel. And you don't let anybody take that away from you. Look at how proud she is. Look at her face. I'm going to get it a little bit closer. She's very proud. Be proud of who you are. You're a dragon. You know, you're on the dragon path. And look at the witches back there, right? Like, I wondered what was going to be back there. Look at the literary witches. So maybe that's for some of you. Maybe that's a little shout out, you know, to channel that side of you. We're going to pull a few more cards. But, you know, this is who you are. You're this beautiful, beautiful being, this beautiful creature. Run with it. So it says, although Divine Feminine is the smallest of all the dragons, she carries an immense power. And this is her message to you. It matters not how small you may feel on the inside. In truth, you are more powerful than you could ever begin to imagine. This power is deep within you, and you know intuitively what is required of you. It's time to stop playing small and claim your place within this circle of light so that you can shine. Others are drawn to you like the sunrise on a summer solstice morning, so own it. It is yours. And own it without fear or ego, but with acceptance and grace and soul knowledge. She allows us for the first time to acknowledge and touch a feeling of personal power, for she encourages deep trust in the divine, which settles itself comfortably in our being. Let's see if we're going to pull any more cards for you. Pile 2. Okay. Ooh, I saw this one yesterday. Okay, so let's pull back a little bit. So we've got the Lord Cthulhu. Lord Cthulhu. Lord Cthulhu. It's like Cthulhu. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm channeling this very beautiful gay energy. Like, you know, and in the most respectful, loving way. Like, I feel like this energy is like asking me to speak in this kind of, you know, yeah, baby. Like, look at him. He's got this magic. He's like, I got the, look at that. Look at the candle. I'm not doing anything. He's like, I got the whole world in my hands. He's like, so do you, so do you, so do you. And look at this dragon backing him up. This, you know, I don't know if you watched the beginning of this, the messages from Spirit. I highly recommend you go watch it. But if you didn't, also, Spirit is calling me to do a really awesome in-depth reading with this deck and a more in-depth introduction to these dragons and from the different groups that they come from, which are the Earthwalk, Galactic, Grandmaster, and Guardian Dragons. I will tell you at the end of this which ones you come from. But then, like I said, we're going to do it by a donation basis. It's $5 or more, or you can donate an oracle deck to the tribe. And if you do that, well, email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com if you're interested. And then, you know, and actually just by paying, I'll know. But for some of you, if you send me a deck, it doesn't, I don't know if it shows up right away. So just email me and let me know if you want to be part of our tribe. But we're going to do a very in-depth reading about Cassia, Parrot Spirit Medicine. We're going to be talking more about these dragons, the dragon path and the deck itself. So, and about March and just the forecast and things that are going to be going on. Okay. So I'm going to put that out there right now. So this one, Lord Cthulhu, I'm feeling a really strong vibe. He wants to, oh, look at that. He's like just chilling out in front of that crystal, just chilling out. Oh, there's so much magic in your pile. And it's interesting. The candle went out behind them for the moon and I was going to light it. And they said, no, leave it be. Like you can see. And also the new moon is all about darkness, right? It's about new beginnings. It's brand new. So let's get into your card from Lord Cthulhu. So many of you know, I mean, when I was growing up, like most of my friends were gay, or they were, you know, bi, open. You know, when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, it was just like a blanket, you know, kind of thing. Just meant you were different, basically. But it's interesting because, you know, we had languaging between ourselves. And like, and some of my friends, when things were transferring over from, you know, to they and she, and although I highly respect anyone to identify themselves any way they feel good, some of my friends were like, girl, no, don't stop, you know, because I was like, do you want me to stop like talking to you in my voice? They're like, no. They're like, are you kidding? And that's how I feel like Lord Cthulhu is. I'm not kidding. I feel like Lord Cthulhu is, he's like, Cthulhu, like, like, instead of like, you know, sue me, he's like, Cthulhu. He just has like this really, really cool, playful, magician, funny, awesome energy, and very, 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 very feminine. Um, Even though I feel like they're masculine identified, and that's what they're trying to say. So for you guys, I don't know if this clicks with you, if this is like, ticking any boxes for you. So anyway, this says, you are the change. When Lord Cthulhu first arrived, he lost no time informing me who he was. I am a dragon elder and spokesdragon for the Galactic Council. Oh my gosh. He went on to say, if you desire to be able to hold the energies of the fifth to the seventh dimensions, you need to be clear of all your earthly woes and fears and your deep need for control. Bam! Your light bodies need to be in alignment with those of the earth and the astrological light matrix. Only then will you become a tool and a tuning device to lift the energy of the planet. As more of you gather together to do this work, the greater will be your chance of bringing lasting peace to Earth. Lord Cthulhu went on to explain why the dragons are here collectively. We have come because lasting peace is achievable on Earth. Oh, I love this. Oh, you guys are amazing. There are other galaxies beyond your human understanding at this time where it has happened. We dragons are as old as the universe itself and have encountered and witnessed humanity in all its guises through the ages. You are the change. Damn! Oh my gosh. You guys, I feel that from you guys. So, this whole reading is about life, death, and rebirth. And I feel like this is like what they're trying to say to you. So even for some of you, like maybe it's time to come out of the closet, like you've been living there too long, and or you have family that are like, you're like, they'll never talk to me again. They'll never, oh my gosh, look at this. So this is, I believe, your last card, but we'll see. Emergence. I mean, this is literally the cover of look at up there, the Dragon Path. This is the cover. You're the cover. I mean, that's how special you are. You made the cover. You're like Sports Illustrated. You're like that much of a rock star. You made the cover. This is exactly how I feel about you. Oh, pile two, my divine feminine, you beautiful, beautiful soul. So emergence. Yes, it's time for you to break free and be yourself. Let your freak flag fly. I love you. That's why I hashtag freaks, weirdos, outcasts. I'm like, yes, unicorns. Now for sure. I used to say dragons actually, and I think I just stopped. I don't know why. Interesting. So it's time for you to break out. Break out. Right? It's time for you to break out of your shell, Like, I feel like this is what they're trying to say. Like, you're this beautiful, sparkly. In fact, this wanted to come here and I wasn't sure why. Now I know why. Ah! Oh, no, don't be afraid. I felt this fear. I'm sorry to scream, but I felt this fear. Oh, hold on. Hey, my sparkly rainbows. Hey, my sparkly rainbows. Yeah. This is Spirit talking to you. They're talking to you. You are beautiful just the way you are. Stop trying to be something you're not. It's not helping you in any way. It's literally holding you back from your true self, from your true existence. And I'm gonna see. Sometimes they like me to put them in a certain order. So I'm gonna put the emergence here. Okay. We're just gonna go a little bit at a time. I'm going to leave the emergence by itself while we read it, okay? It's also the number 11. I love you so much, and Spirit and the dragons are saying they love you so much. And have courage. Have courage. Be free. It's the number 11, you guys. You're beautiful angels. You did not come here to play small, and you have this gift that not other energies have. You're so special. I'm feeling a lot of beautiful fairy energy, and not in like the queer fairy. And yes, in the queer fairy, like, yes, I love my, because like some of my friends, I'm like, how do you identify? It says right now it's just languaging, and it's like what makes somebody feel good, so it's about getting to know each person. Oh my gosh. And Bubba's here. So if you chose this pile, Bubba, my cat, my familiar, she's really powerful, and so she doesn't always come into my readings, but she just came into the reading. But yeah, it's like, this is your time. It's time for you to come out of that shell. This says you are responsible for your life, your behavior, and your experiences, and more importantly, how you react to them. Sometimes, as spiritual beings, we find our human experience on earth can be quite tough. Listen to the wisdom of emergence as he says, it's time to reflect. You need to take stock of what you value and what is important to you. Contemplation and quietness are required. Your experiences may have been vexing. It is unwise to dwell on them, but you can learn from them. Understand those you need to remember and let all others go. From this place, a new vibrant you can emerge. But first, you must allow yourself time to reflect. Go within to that inner place of peace and bring forth that which you wish to be. This dragon appears when we need to take a long, hard look at ourselves and how we live, what we do, and more harshly, our behavior. None of the dragons are a pushover. They all demand that we take stock of ourselves. Stop kidding ourselves and are openly honest. And emergence is no different. He gets straight to the nitty-gritty and informs you that you are responsible for your life, your behavior, and your experiences, and more importantly, how you react to them. Grit and determination are the order of the day. When this powerful dragon finds its way into your cards, he finishes with, remember, you are safe with me. Your fears are nothing but paper tigers and figments of your imagination. Allow me to guide you as you find your balance and carve a new path. Yes. Look at emergence is talking to you. Look at him. He's coming out of the egg. He's coming right out of the egg. That's you, my loves. That's you. So your life, death, and rebirth, like, this is it. This is your messages from the dragons. I love you so much. And speaking of being a part of a community and a tribe, if you would like to join ours, there's about 9 of us right now. I can't remember if there's 8 or 9. I don't count. I'm like roughly going. There may be 10 now. Anyway, if you would like to join our little circle, it's just a contribution of $5 or more, or a deck from my wish list. And I will send you our in-depth reading we're going to do on the dragons on the month of March. We're going to talk about Cassia. We're going to be studying magical herbalism and also working with the parrot spirit animal for the month of March. Okay, so if you're interested, you just email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com and let me know you're interested. And then I will look out for your donation. And if you do it through the cards, just send me a notification so that I know, or you can just tell me that you sent them and I believe you. Either way, when you're ready to join our group, it's a private link and I will send it to you. It's a recording of me, but then also we comment in the section below, and it's a nice place where you can talk about what's going on with you and your witchcraft and things like that. It's mostly witchy, but in this instance we're dealing with dragons, so we're going to be working with the dragon magic. It's all magic anyway. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And I don't believe we're pulling anymore. Sometimes they have like a last minute message. Nope, that's it. I'll see you next time. All of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, and in the links, in the about section, the links are in there too. Bye. Welcome, pile number 3. If you chose this pile, you chose Herne. So I don't know if it's Hern or whatever, but I keep hearing Herne. So that's what I'm going to call this beautiful earth dragon. It's also the number 33. So I think it's awesome that it's 33 and this is pile 3 that you chose this. So I want you to get a visual of this, but I'm also going to go close in because I want you to see this magical creature. Oh my goodness. Now, I was really mad because it fell forward and wax got on it. And I'm like, I just got these. And then I was about to scrape it off. And then I noticed the glitter on it. It's like the glitter stuck on it from the wax. And so I was like, you know what? I'm absolutely keeping it because I realized that Spirit wanted me to, show you that like they see you. They see how magical, you like see it like you're trying to hide. And they're like, no, they're going to find your sparkle. No matter, sorry to move it and be weird, but you know what I mean? It's like no matter where you go, you're gonna sparkle, whether you like it or not. The light is always gonna find you. You may be from the last pick a pile where the light kept with the unicorns, where the light kept finding. It's like the light will always find you. And I feel like this may be your pile. I apologize for all the the turbulence. Hold on. I wanted to allow her to decide how she wanted to be. Okay, so this is a really powerful. I almost said unicorn because we were just talking about the unicorns. Actually, did I say 33? Okay, hold on. Oh, I was at it already. Sorry about that, you guys. There's just so much power. I can feel your energy. You guys are really, 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 really powerful. And it's interesting. It makes sense to me because if you chose this pile, this is the earth energy. The other ones, like after pile one, I was like, damn it, we didn't say anything about fire because in the beginning when we were like kind of choosing the pile, Spirit showed me like, how each representation of the 4 piles for this reading were, earth, air, fire, and water. And I was like, oh, that's so powerful. Like I didn't put it together right because the deck is new and I didn't like look at it, I didn't see it through that lens at the time. I was just too excited about learning about the unicorns. Oh, the dragons. Oh my gosh. So you guys must be unicorns or you feel the unicorn energy because I kind of feel like Herne is like the unicorn dragon, meaning like, she's the one that's like the most connected to the earth and the unicorns, right? The Pegasus can fly, they're air, but unicorns, they don't leave the ground, right? So I feel like that with you guys, like your magical unicorn. So it says it's time to reevaluate. So to slow down your fast-paced life. Oh, that makes sense because right before this started, I was feeling this kind of antsy energy. Even like my familiar, like she jumped down, she wanted to go outside. I was like, what's going on? I'm like, just their energy was like super, super intense. And she feels energy, but like the psychic energy of it, right? Like she was feeling you before we even started. I'm going to kind of shift this a little bit over here so you can get more of the fire. But I was definitely for your pile. It's interesting because it's earth, right? So earth you think is like somebody who's really grounded. Listen, my throat chakra is getting right. But no, you're clearly not speaking your truth. You're not grounded. You're not connecting to the earth. And it could be for some of you if you're coming out of winter, right? We're coming out of hibernation. We're at the end of winter. Yes, we're at the new moon in Pisces and, but it's also the end of the astrological, the zodiac, wheel is the Pisces. So we're all kind of winding down, we're not going to really feel that renewal, rebirth energy until probably around April or for, obviously in the Southern hemisphere, it's April, but it's the same. The shift is the same, right? Because when you're shifting from one season to another or one energy to another, right? We just got out of the Aquarius moon energy. Now we're starting a brand new moon cycle in the Pisces energy. So we're, that's water. So if you're somebody who's really grounded, but also somebody who gets shit done, like my earth people, like Capricorns, I'm feeling a lot of Capricorn energy, so is it Capricorn, Taurus, and is it Virgo? Are my earth signs, right? Or our earth signs. But if you're somebody who's a go-getter, Spirit's saying, yeah, but not this time. During this energy, these readings are timeless. But if you're watching it in real time, right, they're saying take a break, take a minute, take a breath. While we're going through this transitional energy, March is a transitional month. It's a very huge transitional month, right? In the Northern Hemisphere, we're passing it over from winter to spring, and the Southern from summer to fall. But either way, March itself is just, there's a lot of change. And for those of us who do go through the time change, all of that, that's a lot. So this says the earth dragon, Herne, is connected, or you could say Hern if it makes you feel whatever. That's just what I keep hearing, like Herne. It sounds like another language to me. Is connected to nature and everything within the natural world, the rocks, the earth, the trees and plants, the animals and the birds. He advises us that we would do well to remember that we too are part of the seasons, the earth's rotation, and of Mother Earth herself. He reminds us that everything is cyclical and draws our attention to how out of sync we are now with the earth's natural rhythm, right? It's true. Even our internal body clocks are out of kilter. We couldn't imagine life without our smartphones, being connected to the internet, social media, and TV 24/7. But all of these things act as distractions which stop us from delving into ourselves, finding our own internal patterns, reconnecting with ourselves, and in turn with the natural rhythm of our planet. Herne says, you celebrate May Day, Halloween, Christmas, and other festivals, yet you forget the real essence of what they truly signify. They are a celebration of the turning of the seasons, of the earth's bounty, and you are out of step with these things. It's time to reevaluate, to slow down your fast-paced life, for you are constantly spinning on your axis rather than interweaving with the earth's beautiful tapestry. Make time to look at the trees, watch the waves, listen to the bees. Your body and mind require time to replenish and reboot. To use a popular human word, they were saying reboot, right? It's interesting the way this was translated. Your body and mind require time to replenish and reboot. It's a popular human word, is what they're saying. So he also emphasizes that nothing lasts forever. Things such as human love and life, he says, wax and wane like the moon. They are forever changing. They follow the natural cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth. Yes. So if you've been following me, you know that I just started to get real about doing these readings around the moon cycles and the moon phases. This is exactly why, because I'm starting to get it. Like, it really is. We are part of like this system. It's like, and it's like why we've all felt so out of whack and people are dying of cancer and all these things is because they're putting all these horrible things in and on their bodies that were told to us by our government, people that are like, oh no, I'm here to protect you. It's like religion and politics are the biggest scam in the entire fucking universe. It's the biggest scam, and they go from planet to planet like, you know, predators. That's what they do. They're fucking parasites and predators, and they go from planet to planet and they abuse and abuse, you know, different species. And right now we're here to set shit straight and be like, nope, not on Earth. Sorry, bye-bye. Leave the humans alone. This is their place. This is their, you know, this is school. This is soul knowledge school. So bye-bye. Be gone before a house falls on you too. So listen to that, and listen to your internal compass. I'm hearing from Spirit as well. So let's pull a few more cards. Oh, interesting. So if you were drawn to pile number 2, I highly suggest you go and watch it, because this is from pile number 2, the Divine Feminine. And I'm going to, I feel like I want to leave the nature there. So, okay. So I'm not going to go into the book. If you want to know more about this dragon and this card, go to pile number 2. Otherwise, basically, in this instance, what I'm getting is the same representation that it had in that reading, which is that, you know, it's time to take care of yourself and mother yourself. Treat yourself the way that you would treat your child or your significant other, your friend, your family, your fur baby. You know what I mean? Take really good care of yourself, because you're going out of whack, and if you keep going this fast, it's like you're going to knock yourself so far off kilter that you're not going to be able to, you're not even going to recognize who you are anymore. Okay. And then I believe this is our last message. Ooh, see, now I didn't even see this one. Cool. So it says it's number 13. Aveberry Matriarch. Okay, I feel like he's like moving closer in. Aveberry Matriarch. This is like a no joke dragon. Like, I feel like, okay, we see you. We see you. Okay, we're going to go to the book. Before I go any further, the dragons want me to point out like where they come from, because if you watch the front of this or the beginning reading of this, we talked about that they come from the 4 dragon clans: the Earthwalk, the Galactic Grand Master, and Guardian Dragons. And so I just wanted to tell you where yours come from. So the new one we just picked, which was the Aveberry Matriarch number 13, is from the Earthwalk dragons. The Divine Feminine, ooh, the light just went out. The Divine Feminine is from the Guardian Dragons. And Herne is from the Earthwalk Dragons. I believe. I would think. Is she? What is that one? Oh, is that 33? No, that's 33. Oh no, she's from the Guardian Dragons. So you got 2 Guardian Dragons and 1 Earthwalk Dragon. So that's really powerful. And we were just talking about that. Isn't that interesting that the Earthwalk Dragon, I just assumed that she was an earth walk dragon, right? Like, why would I not think she's an earth walk dragon? She's representing basically the earth card. So that's really interesting. So earth and earth. So clearly either this is you or you're dealing with, you know, an earth sign, because this is about, you know, life, death, and rebirth. Very interesting. So this says, the Avebury matriarch says, I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal. This dragon comes in with the strength and power to delve deep into our ancestral past and bring healing. She usually follows the matriarchal line back through the passage of time. She states, the time has come to release the chains that bind the continued pain from your ancestors, which has been passed down from generation to generation. You do not need to own this, as it is not and never was your pain to bear. She reassures us it is safe to explore old family hurts and release them to her. If she has shown up today in your reading, ask her for wisdom to guide you in the best way to heal the past and move forward in your life. She says, I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal and leave the pain of your ancestral past behind. Old family wounds only fester on a deeper level if not acknowledged and released. They serve no purpose in your journey now. If the Avebury matriarch has flown into your awareness today, she wants you to visit an old natural temple, stone circle, or other ancient sacred site and connect to the energy of the land there. She asks you to ground yourself, be still, and ask for her guidance. Due to her connection with the Avebury henge, she carries an incredibly ancient energy, that of the old ways, the shamanic healing of the ancestors of England. Her wisdom is as ancient as the land itself. Oh, look at that. Look at her. With grace. You got a lot of feminine energy in here too. A lot of feminine energy in here. Okay, you guys, so those are your messages. I hope it helped you. And if you didn't watch the reading before this, I am going to do a more in-depth reading, a tribe reading. If you are interested, email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com. All of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Love you. Welcome, pile number 4. I'm not sure if this went to a second video. Hopefully it hasn't. But if it does, I'll put a link below. Anyway, interesting. I had a completely different energy from this card from when I first started just now. And I was like, yay, freedom, my air pile, right? So either you're an air sign or you're dealing with an air sign. But it's, and that's Leo. Ooh, that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I had to give myself a little wait, what? Anyway, I'm also going in an hour and 32 minutes straight for myself. So, and I've been channeling these dragons and they are no joke. But the interesting thing is I felt like, oh, cool. Like you guys are freedom, but I felt this energy like you guys don't feel like you have freedom actually. So I want to get into this card and see what it has to say. Some piles I've channeled right off the cuff, and some I haven't. So let's get in close and look at your beautiful dragon. And I feel like I want to go down a little bit so we can give you a little more light, so you can see more in depth of the card. So it says, let go and trust the process of life in the universe. Freedom frequently appears when we have been kidding ourselves about a particular situation or scenario we find ourselves in. You may be feeling overwhelmed with responsibility or trapped by circumstance, or maybe it's simply a feeling of disquiet and anxiety. Freedom says, open your heart and you will see the inner truth of any situation. Don't be afraid of the truth, for it can be as liberating as it is healing. Change is the single constant in your world, and you have learned to fear that change. Let it go, for it is your gilded cage. Give yourself wings and come fly with me. You can only be truly free once you release your strong need for control. Also, she's saying, cry, get it out. Yeah, like for some of you, like, I'm just feeling like, she's like, I see you. I see you. She asked me to illuminate it. And she's saying she sees you. And you're not alone. You're not alone. She's asking me to come over here and show this little bit of nature right here. She said, you just need to get out into nature, get some grounding, you know, so you can feel more connected. Because you'll actually feel more connected to the stars by connecting to the earth. And look at, she's showing you that spirits on either side, like they've got your back. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So she continues by saying, be brave, Follow your inner guidance. Only you can set yourself free. Let go and trust the process of life and the universe. Take time out. Free some time for you to dance, play music, get back to that yoga practice, listen to water, catch the wind in your hair, seek out a place of quiet solitude in nature, and sit quietly and simply be. See, that's why she wanted me. This is actually a piece of wood that I found on the property, and I blew some glitter on it, and now it's kind of become this cool little, like little beacon of hope. I don't know, something. I don't know. There's something about the glitter. It's been making me feel really connected. If you notice my last few readings and my little shorts, I don't know. There's something about the glitter. I just feel like they're really connecting to me that way. Also, Anna, thank you so much for the glitter. If this is your pile, because I felt a shout out, and for the deck. Thank you, Anna, for donating this deck. And also for some of you, I'm going to do a more in-depth reading for the month of March for the collective. And we're going to talk more about these cards and the clans of these unicorns. That's the second time I've said that. Oh my gosh, I said that in other piles. So you guys must identify with the unicorns as well, and this pile. So yeah, so there's something there. So anyways, I'm going to be doing a more in-depth reading. It's going to be really awesome. So if you're interested, it's a minimum of a $5 donation. So you can donate through cash, or if you donate a deck to the channel, to the tribe, then automatically, you get that as well. So it's a minimum of $5. You can give as much as you want, but email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com, and I will send you the link to that reading, and yeah, we'll go from there. Anyway, so getting back to your reading, so the next card is Sin Gold. I saw this one yesterday when I opened up the box. Let me get in a little bit closer. Look at that fierce warrior. Look at that fierce dragon. Beautiful. Yeah, it's interesting. Like the dragons and the unicorns are like kind of coming together. And they've been asking me to use more natural light. That's why my readings have been kind of dark as of late, but it's also new moon energy. So this is the number 12. And let's see what this beautiful dragon has to say. Do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. Sin Gold is the dragon of gratitude, and he arrives when we need to take notice of and acknowledge old negative patterns. He asks us to recognize old emotional blocks. Yeah, you guys, I'm hearing a lot of depression, anxiety. Also, I'm hearing for some of you, and this is going to be some tough love, and you're not going to want to hear this. They're saying your depression and your anxiety isn't clinical. It's you. Like, you're the one that's like, because you're living in victim mode. You know better. You know you don't need all this human bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you understand, like, it's awesome being human and all, but they're saying, like, talking about the 3D bullshit, really, not the human bullshit, but like the 3D, like, oh, I'm weak, or I can't heal myself. And they're like, come on, like, don't, you know better. It's a little bit of tough love right now, but they're saying you can pull yourself out of this depression, watch something funny. Like, I feel like for some of you, you stay in the depression, like whether it's listening to somber music or watching horror movies or something, things that you think make you feel better, when they're like, no, get yourself a really good comedy, put on some music and dance. What did you love to do when you were 8 years old? Start coloring again, start being creative. Like, I'm getting a really, really, 3723 is your angel number. I'm getting a really huge pull to that. So it said, get rid of the self-doubt, fear, or jealousy. Self-doubt, fear, and jealousy are 3 of the biggest, like that little tag team together too will just pull you down. If you're comparing yourself to others, if you're saying, I'm not good enough, there's like, yeah, you are. You're supposed to be different. You're beautiful just the way you are. Look at how different these dragons are. Look at how completely different they are. They look kind of similar, but they're not the same dragon, right? Like, they've got their own thing going on, and that's what it's supposed to be. They're not supposed to be identical. They're supposed to be different from each other. We're all supposed to be different from each other. If we were all the same, this place would be so boring. And one person's version of beauty is not the same version for somebody else, right? Okay, so this says, he has these words to say about gratitude. Review your life to date and find things to be grateful for, right? So like, I just put something together about this, right? So if you woke up today and you like were in a warm bed and you have food and water and you can take a shower, you have more than a lot of people on this planet, a significant amount of people. So seriously, just be grateful even for those little things. It's taken me years to really understand what gratitude means. And also look at how cute this is, how like the lights on the crown chakra of freedom, right? It's so cute. I love it. It's like they're trying to show you, like, work with your crown chakra, connect to spirit. When you're feeling depressed and you're feeling sad, they will pull you out of it. Don't stay there just because it's comfortable. That's the thing. You're going back to something that's comfortable. That message isn't for everybody, but you know who you are. And it's not like they love you. They're just saying, like, come on, like, you could do this. Like, we need you now. No more playing in this, woe is me. That's not you. Okay, so they say, acknowledge the fears, envy, guilt, or anger within. Accept the niggling doubts. Admit that they're present, for they are a part of you. But you have no need to dwell there, for they are part of your past and are no longer relevant to your life now. Instead, revel in the pure joy of being alive. Seek the positive in your existence here on earth. Uncover the things to rejoice about. Do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. Seek a totem to act as a reminder. This can be an object small enough to carry or wear daily, maybe a beautiful shell or a crystal. Set the intention within it to stay focused on being joyous and grateful, so that when this totem is on your person, it reminds you that all is as it should be. You are learning the lessons of gratitude, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Stop trying to get ahead of yourself. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, you guys. Think, chant, write, or sing joy, happiness, peace, laughter, but above all, gratitude. Put it to music, dance with it, practice gratitude, paint it, draw it numerous times daily until joy and feeling grateful become an intrinsic part of your everyday life. Count your blessings until an attitude of gratitude resides in your heart and settles you into a new pattern of being. Go forward with deep love in your heart. And let me tell you something, that's so true, because the last few months I've been doing that every day, all day long. I'm like, oh man, I'm so rich. I'm abundant. Money comes to me easily. All my bills get paid on time. I have no worries, no concerns, blah, blah. And things have just been like flowing and flowing and flowing, and it's like, there's been moments where, like, my husband and I would be like, fuck, like that bill's due like in 2 days from now. And like, bam, he'll get a job. And it's like, there we go. It's just, so keep focused. Do not get caught up in the old shit. They're still kind of testing our commitment in that, right? Like the trusting part. So the last one here is confidence. Oh, look at confidence. I love confidence. Wow. Confidence is no bullshit. I didn't see this one yesterday when I opened this. Oh my gosh, confidence. Look at you. Look at you. So channel this energy, confidence. It's the number 6. Ooh. Also, before I forget, all of these dragons come from different clans, the Earthwalk, Galactic, Grandmaster, and Guardian Dragons. We're going to go more in depth on this in that reading that I was telling you about, but they just wanted to tell you where they come from so that you can, see. All 3 of these are from the Earthwalk dragons, and the other 3 piles, it was like all mixed up, but you guys, that's pretty profound. So you may have chose freedom and the air, but these are very grounded creatures. And look at how freedom, and they had me do it exactly like this. And look at how freedom, oops, I almost burned myself. Look how freedom and confidence, look how freedom's flying into confidence. Do you see that? That's really powerful. So confidence says, trust yourself, your inner wisdom, and your intuition. Call upon this dragon when your confidence has taken a knock or when you feel you are unable to trust your own judgment. He gives you the hope and courage you need to carry on. He encourages you to dig deep and take the next step. He will be beside you all of the way, supporting you as you go. He has beautiful dragon energy you can call upon in times of personal crisis and need. A lot of masculine energy here. Beautiful. Confidence is an awesome dragon to work with, but be warned, he can also be very forthright. He says, you can't sit there wallowing in self-pity. You have a job to do, so get on with it. He continues, you have many talents to draw upon and use. Yes, you have taken a few knocks and bruises along the way. I see you, but that is life. Your infinite abilities are yet to be explored and uncovered. Your task now is to trust yourself, your inner wisdom, and your intuition. Follow your feelings and listen to your inner guidance. This might This might well be scary, and you will be taking yourself out of your comfort zone, but playing safe doesn't aid your personal or spiritual growth, right? If you have no idea what course of action to take, ask for his guidance, but remember, he is not in any way soft or fluffy. He will tell you or show you what you need to know bluntly and put things in your path that you need to understand. Look for the lessons, and from there you will begin to develop exponentially, both spiritually and personally. You will find your way under his compassionate guidance. Part of what confidence teaches us is that we are responsible for our own experiences, however painful or joyous. We need to learn to live, love, forgive, heal, and move on. He is probably one of the toughest dragons I've ever encountered, yet he is also gentle and caring. Tough love, I think it's called, is what he said. That's what confidence says. Although he's straight talking, he does have huge compassion for us human doings, not beings, human doings. Bear that in mind if you get a telling off from him, dragon style. Which that just tells me too, when I look down, it was 144.22. So take those numbers in any capacity you want to. I'm wrapping it up here, but yeah, so that's what confidence is saying, right? Like he's saying, like, listen, I will be by you all the way. I will help you, but I only help those who help themselves, right? You got this. Confidence believes in you. I believe in you. We all believe in you. I want to see what he looks like dark. Yeah, look at his eyes shining, right? He's got his eye on you. He's going to be there. He's going to look out for you. He's saying, do not worry about anything anymore. Step out of your comfort zone. If it's not working for you, it's not working for you, right? And until you actually make the decision to go, that's when your freedom will flow. So that's it, you guys. Those are messages. Again, if you would like to be part of that, it's going to be, I'm recording it actually. I don't know if I'm going to do it now or if I'm going to do it later, but I'm definitely going to do it in the next like 48 hours. I'm going to stay in this new moon energy, but I'm going to do an awesome like tribe reading. I'm going to go more in depth in this deck and the cards. I'm super, super excited about it. We're going to go in the Magickal Herbalism book and the Encyclopedia of Herbalism from Scott Cunningham. We're going to learn about cassia, and we are also going to talk with the Parrot Spirit Medicine. It's going to be a really awesome reading for the collective, and it's a minimum of $5 donation. If you'd like to be a part of that, email me at themagicalmedium@gmail.com, or just send me a donation. If you send a donation right now of $5 or more through Venmo or through PayPal, or if you buy a deck for the channel for us, either way, any of those, I will send you a link for that private link for that reading. All right. Until then, you guys, be well. I love you so much. And you know what? I'm with confidence. I have a tough, I love humans so much, but I am human. You are human. We are all human here. We're all light workers, but right. It's like we get to a point where we're just like, no, enough is enough. Right. We got to do what we got to do. So you came here to be big. You didn't come here to play small. Pull yourself out of it. You can do it. And honestly, if you join our tribe, I think you'll love it. There's about, I think 8 or 9 or 10 of us, somewhere in there. I've kind of lost track now of the numbers, but it's really cool. And we have like a nice little community where we, talk below and all that. And, we support each other. So if you're feeling like alone and all that, you're not alone. We're here for you. Until next time, I love you so much. All of my information is in the description box below and in my about section. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho.